Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, alcalde. Una experiencia transformadora radical que creo que vale la pena estudiar y mirársela con cariño y con admiración porque hay muchas vidas de por medio. Quisiera pasar ahora, sorry, I want to now move to our two mayors. And I will begin with young mayor of Stockholm, Karin Wanngard. Stockholm it's a social democrat paradise. It's another kind of paradise in earth. But I want to invite the mayor to explain how have you built this city and what are your projects for in this new environmental, economic, and political that we are living today. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for this opportunity to speak about Stockholm, my hometown. This, I think, it's much as important as combating the climate change, because we need to build societies that sticks together with equality and human rights. The development towards more inequality poses a great threat to our societies. A city that is marked by great inequalities is a city with a bleak future. As my position as a mayor of Stockholm, my goal is a socially, environmentally, and economically sustainable city. I also believe that gender equality and human rights should be at the core of all decision-making. The goal to build a city where all citizens are offered the same opportunities. The greatest challenges to this goal is growing inequalities when it comes to life opportunities. In my city, your life and your opportunities look very different depending on where in the city you live. This is something that has to be changed. We have seen this growing for the past years, and it is one of my biggest challenges to correcting this. Stockholm is one of the fastest growing cities in Europe, and we have a positive development. However, as in many other growing cities around the world, we also see growing inequalities within the city. I believe that many of you look at Sweden and Stockholm and think of equality and good living conditions, the Social Democratic Party's success. And this is true. But Stockholm is often ranked very high when it comes to gender equality, the ability to live a good life, and attractiveness. But overall, I can see its difference between where you live, what parents you have, and where you come from. So Stockholm has had a positive development, but not all people living in the city has had the opportunity to take part of that development. I will give you one example. Life expectancy has increased by 8 years since the 70s. When we look at the figures and break it down, we can see if we compare life expectancy between men from low-income areas and women from high-income areas, we see a difference of 8 years between those two groups. While my city is doing well on the general level, life looks very different for different groups living in the same cities. Inequalities in our cities will remain and develop unless we are determined and focused in our mission to get rid of them. This is the great political challenge that lies ahead of us. From the first day I was elected, I have taken several steps to meet these challenges. I have made sure that we spend more on education, because I think that education is really the core to make sure that we can combating inequalities. Every child should get the help in school he or she needs. This is why we have made it cost-free to get help with your homework. This is why we will hire more people in our schools, both teachers and assistants. This is why we spend more money on making school classes smaller, so that every child can get the attention he or she needs. One of my first initiatives when elected mayor was to launch a sustainable commission for social inclusion. I have also put a lot of money on this work. The goal of the Commission is to reverse the trend of segregation and increasing inequalities. This is work that will take time, but it is work that has to start now. For me as a decision maker, the Commission will provide important data on which to make the correct policy and political decisions. It will be a tool that will make it easier to make the right political decisions. The Commission will use research and data to map inequalities in Stockholm. It will identify and develop goals and strategies for a socially sustainable Stockholm. It will provide suggestions on action needed to eradicate inequalities. My mission as a mayor for Stockholm is to stop inequalities. We need to build a city that is equal, where human rights and gender rights has the possibility to grow. Because I believe in cities. I believe in the new urbanization, with more people want to come to Stockholm, want to live in Stockholm, and me as a mayor need to provide that Stockholm will be the city you will choose. Thank you for your attention.